Hey there, if you are new to Python and you wonder how you can accept input from the user, then this video is going to help you. So let's start with the topic. See, in Python, we have a special function, or let's say we have a built-in function, which is the input function. So the input function allows us to accept any data, or let's say any value from the user. So all you need to do is you need to store the value which you are going to accept inside a variable, right? Because we know that variables are the area, or let's say the memory location where we store any value. So if you are going to accept some input, so that needs to be stored somewhere, right? So that is the variable where you would be storing that. So here I have created a variable called name. Let's say name equals to. Now I'm going to write input and I'll just put the parenthesis because that indicates that input is a function. So see, here I have mentioned something that you can prompt the user what needs to be entered with a message inside the input function, right? So input function allows you to write something or display any message to the user, just like we can do that inside a print function, okay? So you can just go for the double quotes and just write like, enter your name. Okay, so that's all, like name equals to input, enter your name. So this is the way by which you can accept value from the user. Okay, so after we run the code, it will ask us to enter the name. But before that, let's print a message so that we can also see if the input is actually stored in the memory or not. Like we can simply greet the user like hello. After the double quotes, I can just write the variable name like this, like name. So whatever gets stored inside the variable name will be printed after hello, right? So let me execute the code. Okay, so it's asking me to enter your name. So let me just write any name over here and press enter. So see, it says hello Ria because that is the value that I entered. Okay, now moving to the next topic where I have said type conversion. So if you remember that while discussing about the input function, I said that input function accepts values. See, input function accepts values as a string data type. So no matter what you enter, even if you enter some number inside a string, inside the input function, like let's say a equals to input, enter something, right? So after that, I'll just show you what is the data type of A. Okay, so I'll just use the type function to do that. Okay, so I'll run the code and see it says enter something. So here I'll enter 12 and see it says class str, which means that even if I have entered 12 as the input value, still it shows me that it is of a string data type. Okay, so hence it's proved that input function always accepts value as a string data type. So what is the way to accept integer or float numbers? In order to do that, we can use the int function and the float function. So this is known as the type conversion, means when you are entering any value, that is going to be accepted as a string data type, and the int function or the float function is going to convert it to the respective data types, right? So let's say we want to enter something like maybe age equals to int input, and then I'll prompt the user enter your age. That's it. After that, I'll write percentage equals to float input, enter percentage, right? Okay, so that's it. That's it. Now I'll just use the type method to display what is the data type for age, what is the data type for age, and what is the data type for, and what is the data type for percentage. Okay, and what is the data type for percentage. Okay, so let's run the code. I'll just omit the first portion. Okay, so it says enter your age. So maybe I'll going to enter 25 and percentage is maybe 89.7. Now see, the first one says class int and the second one says class float. So I hope it's clear that because we have used the int function and the float function, the data type for the entered value is now accepted as an integer and a float type, right? Okay, now let's say that we are not sure about the data type, what the user is going to enter. Like let's say it can be integer or it can be float as well. Okay. So in that case, what we can do is we can go for the eval function, because it will automatically convert the data type of the input value according to the entered data. So let's try it out. Okay, so let's say I'll just use a variable called value, and here I'll use the eval function, and inside it I'm going to write input, and I'm saying enter a number, right? After that I'll use the type method and print the data type for value. So let me run the code. Okay, so first time I'm going to enter 100 and see it says class int. That's wow. Again I'm going to run the code and I'll enter 100.11. Now it says class 4. That's a magic, right? So that is wonderful if you are accepting numbers and you are not sure about the data type that is going to be entered, right? So I hope that I have successfully explained about the input function and you are clear with it. If you have any doubts or any questions, please leave your comments below and watch the next video to learn more about Python.